Where does the small scale farmer then fit into these whole concept of making money? Because I think when we talk about making money, most of the time we look like you have to have like huge pieces of land, right?
We also have to be very careful with some of these terminologies. I think small scale farmer is a terminology used for funding. Because how do you define a smallholder farmer? Is it 1 acre or 10 acres?
Yeah, I think it's less than 3 acres.
But you get somebody with 3 acres has 8 greenhouses. Are they still small scale? So for me, I look at this very, very categorical and say, for you to make money, you have to make sure you have everything set. But you also need to know, who are you growing this for? And when are you harvesting? What are the factors that determine your success? For example, and as mentioned, one reason why I was not bitter when the lady didn't show up to pick the cabbages.
But there was to ask that. So you had a contract. How comes?
I still have in fact, that contract is in my office.
Probably sue the guy.
But I understood the dynamics behind it. This lady was taking these cabbages to Eldoret. I'm in Kamulu, that in a river that time. And Delamere is selling cabbages at 8 shillings. Where would she come all the way to? So I did not understand the market. However, there's somebody who came and bought, I think, around 5,000 cabbages and took to Garissa. So from Kamulu to Garissa is nearer. If somebody told me, then I would have hired a truck and took it to Garissa. And in Garissa, it was being sold for 100 shillings. But I was a traditional farmer who was like, no, I have to sell in the nearest market. And when it comes to the market, market is very delicate. And market now comes in with you remember, it used to be 4 P's of marketing. Now this is 6 P's of marketing. It applies, it's a business. So you have to know the place where you are. So which market are you going to? What is the product? What is the product that you are selling to? So how many times do you visit the market before starting planting? How many times do you visit the market after you've planted? You have to know the pricing, because the pricing is not based on your cost of production. The pricing is based on what is being sold in the market, because your cost of production can be 6 shillings and the market is selling at 18 shillings. Or your cost of production might be 18 and it's being sold at 6. So you now start asking yourself, how can I reduce my cost of production? The place. So where are you farming? So where you're farming is a determining factor, because if you're going to spend 2,000 shillings every time you're going to the farm, it's eating in your profit. Okay, and so I compare farming to real estate. It depends where you're building, but also the returns on investment is not what people say. Let me tell you the truth. There are very few farmers that I know across sub-Saharan Africa that have ever made 1 million shillings from their one season. In fact, close to none.